Welcome back to World Talks. I'm Anna Kalczyńska. Let's focus on Romania now. Romania is heading into a tense presidential election rerun, and leading the field is a candidate who calls Donald Trump an inspiration. George Simion, leader of the nationalist AUR party. But what does Simion really stand for? And what would his rise mean for Romania's place in Europe, its relationship with the US, and the strength of its democracy? To unpack all this, we're joined by Professor Andrei Ţăranu from the National University of Political Studies in Bucharest. Good morning, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning to you and your listeners.
So, May 4th is the first round of the rerun. Tell us, please, to what extent Khen Gesu's removal from the race helped Simion reach current level of support?
For sure, the removal of Khen Gesu somehow strengthened the position of George Simion, and that's because a lot of voters of Khen Gesu are drifted to the George Simion's poll. But on the other side, here the situation is quite complicated because we started from Monday a long series of television debate, and George Simion doesn't participate to anyone till now. So are a lot of people which are quite disappointed by his actions, and they are removing from his side to different others, mainly to the former Prime Minister of Romania, Victor Ponta, which also is very close to MAGA, Make America Great Again, and the Trumpist ideology here in Romania. So from this point of view, George Simion, it doesn't look to be very happy these days, because for sure he's a menace for Romania and for Europe as well, because his stance is quite fascist and very nationalistic. But on the other side are a lot of people which are looking to more stability and a little bit more peaceful situation here in Romania after the turmoil of the ban of the former election and restarting the new election this year.
Exactly. So I'd like to follow upon this. Simion's appeal and populist momentum. Let's discuss this for a while. What explains George Simion's rise in Romania? Is this more about anti-elitism, nationalism, or economic frustration, or a little bit of all of that?
Economic frustration is very complicated because Romania grows very much in terms of economy, had a very low rate of non-employment, and also great and an important average on his European money. So from this point of view, the frustration is more against the political elite and against the establishment, somehow against the ghost of the secret services. So it's a sort of a group of factors, but mainly it's the anger of the people against the corporatization and the coalization of the mainstream parties. Here is the biggest problem, because a lot of people see that cannot be any political future because the great two political parties, the Social Democrats and the Liberals, united themselves in a sort of a political lead over the society. So they want to remove this lead, and their frustration was channelized by the nationalist populist movements as our and George Simion.
All right, so does Simion's MAGA style rhetoric, this is what you've been talking about, does it resonate beyond his base?
Yes and no, because it's not very close to MAGA. He's more interested in the Hungarian Viktor Orban's politics against migration, which is not a big problem here in Romania, but against the economical and political nationalism, against European Union, against other implication from abroad, but with a great support for United States in terms of security and economic involvement here. This is why close to other political parties in Europe, George Simion, but not his followers, are going to make what they are calling mega, make Europe great again, which is not so great because they want to come back to the former European community, economical community, not to go further to a political European Union. So, from this point of view, his sovereignist stance is much closer to the Viktor Orban or Robert Fico than to the Donald Trump. Because even George Simion knows that it's much easier to make business and to be involved into the European Union affairs than in the American affairs, which are very quite difficult on this very moment, and because Donald Trump starts so many commercial and tariff wars.
And do you think this is just a Romanian phenomenon that you're observing, or is it more European, more broader wave we see across Europe?
For sure, it's a much European problem. Somehow Donald Trump and MAGA was the trigger for a lot of movements all around Europe, and mainly in the Central and Eastern Europe. You can look in your country, in Poland, you have pretty much the same situation. And somehow PiS was a sort of a model for our in Romania, because it was not very easy for George Simion to copy the Hungarian model because of the Hungarian minority here in Romania. But they developed very good relations with Morawiecki, the former prime minister of Poland, which was in Romania for a few weeks in order to support the political campaign of the presidential candidate George Simion. So for sure, it's not only the Romanian situation. You can see it also in Bulgaria, in other countries where they are these people which want to rechange the European Union politics and economy.
All right, so let's focus now on Simion's coherent or not coherent foreign policy vision. What would a Simion presidency mean for Romania's role in the EU and NATO?
First of all, the biggest problem of George Simion is he is banned for a long time in Republic of Moldavia and Ukraine because of allegedly relation with the FSB, CVP, the secret services of Russia. And they were important officials from Chisinau and also from Kiev, which provide proofs that he was connected with the secret services of Russia. So, from this point of view, his foreign relations are a little bit difficult looking to the east. In the West, he tried to gain more support from Giorgia Meloni from Italy, because he's the vice president of the ECPR. So he tried harder to maintain this relation, but on the other side, we have to understand that his party now is split between former leader Claudiu Târziu and George Simion, which is the front runner of the party. And with United States, he tried. Now we had proof. He tried to have a lobby in Washington. which was paid with 1.5 million dollars and half millions of dollars, and he didn't succeed to make connection with the Trump administration and Trump establishment. On the other side, his rival, Victor Ponta, is much closer to the Mar-a-Lago establishment nearby Donald Trump. Donald Trump Jr. was 2 days ago in Romania meeting with Victor Ponta. So for George Simion, it's a little bit problematic to support very much United States, but not being supported by them, as it was Khen Gesu and is now Victor Ponta.
Andrei Ţăranu, thank you so much, Professor, for joining us this morning.
Very much. Thank you very much.
And thank you for watching World Talks. But please stay tuned to TVP World for more to come.